What's up, bikers? This is your program for the 29th of September, and as promised, deload/reload week. So this week is going to be all about getting centered around new movements, feeling at one with training. I sound like a complete hippie. Be at one with yourself and your training goals. Basically, time to strip it back a little bit, reset for next week. We're going to start a new cycle. We're going to be smashing it hard. So it's important that you don't overload and break down muscles during this week and put yourself in a deficit and then try and add 3 weeks on as of next week. And it's just going to be really hard to maintain the constant gains that we want you to make. So don't compromise that just because you're keen. Stick with the plan. So on that note, back squats. We're going to work up to a single rep at 80% of your 3 rep max. Priority now is movement quality. The weight is not going to be heavy, but heavy enough to give you feedback on the movement. So we haven't done back squats for a little while. You might have tested them recently if you're new to the program, but it's important now that you just reaffirm positions and range of motion. So squat down, between your hips, knees come out, priority on what's happening with your lower back. If you did see one of our Insta Banger videos about filming yourself from the side, if you've got doubts about your position, then set up an iPhone, check yourself from the side, compare that to this image right now, which is a reasonably good squat. So Pat might not be strong, but he moves really well. And that's it. So lots of incremental sets on the way up to that weight. Then it should be easy. You can do 2 or 3 reps at that with a little bit of rest, but only singles. Just make sure that you're familiar with the movement. Then we're going to move on. So you're going to have to tear yourself away from doing anything heavy today. So moving on to part B. So part B, on the minute, every minute for 15 minutes. 7 thrusters. Ouch! Deload, but movement quality. So Pat would probably use 30 to 40 kilos for this. It's a high capacity interval. Lots of squatting through the legs. You should be warm because of the back squats. If you worry about fatigue through the shoulder or positions, it's going to be much nicer to do this with dumbbells or kettlebells that are lighter. Dumbbells will change the hand position. It'll be nicer on your shoulder if your overhead mobility isn't that great. Definitely use dumbbells. 7 on the minute every minute for 15 minutes, and that's it for part B. Part C, day 1, rowing pacing. 4,000 meters at 10 seconds slower than your 2,000 meter pace. If that makes no sense, then it's just not that hard. Well, it's going to be testing towards the end, but don't go out the gates fast. If you did your 2,000 meter test and you did it in 7 minutes, that means your 500 meter pace is 145. So I don't want you to row any faster than a 155. That's nice and consistent and get you in the groove for some longer pacing efforts. So if you use a different piece of equipment and you use that different piece of equipment for the test in the first instance, then use that same piece and do 15 to 20 minutes at a steady conversational pace that's reasonably testing, but you can maintain it throughout. We did do a video on damper settings and drag factors on a rowing machine, so it would be pretty good to check that out and make sure that you've got a nice efficient row for this workout and future ones. So setting yourself up well is really, for the Concept 2 rower, really going to benefit you for these programs. And that's it for day 1. Day 2 starts with single arm Russian kettlebell swings. So this is eye level swings, pretty heavy. You're going to do minute 1, 40 seconds of swings on your weaker arm. Then you're going to rest for the remaining 20 seconds and you're going to match that number on your strong arm. You're going to alternate for 12 minutes, so that's 6 each side, trying to maintain those same numbers. If you struggle and you can't do it within 50 seconds, reduce the reps, rein it back in, and do 40 seconds work. And that's it for part A. Part B is ring dips. So this is going to be a little bit of a test. By all means, use a band between the rings to put your knees into to help with this movement. 5 to 10 sets, putting feelers out between 3 and as many reps as you can. Ring dips with a 3-second hold at the top and a 3-second hold at the bottom. So lots of variation in potential reps. So 1, 2, 3, down, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, down, 1, 2, 3, up. As you can see, Pat is not amazing at these. So he will probably want to do about 10 sets of 3. That would be a big challenge. Rest is needed in between. So familiarization, it will burn, it will gain, it will be good for you this week. Reload, deload, there's still going to be some strength to be had and stabilization. We will be adding these in the next few weeks in different tempos, so important that you try these and get familiar with it. And that's it for part B. Johnny, when you edit this, mention a bar. Bars. Part C is going to be running intervals. You can do this on a machine, outside, you can do it on the bike. It's going to be 400 meters times 3, then 200 meters times 5, then 400 meters times 3. You're going to rest 1.5 minutes between each effort. If you're doing this on a bike, then you'll do 2 minutes work 3 times, and then 1:15 minutes 5 times, and 2 minutes work 3 times. You might want to set some kind of timer up, or it's going to be pretty fucking hard to do. But you can do it on other pieces of equipment with that kind of time range or whatever suits round about there. I would prefer you to do running. The benefits are amazing, and that's that. Day 3 is going to be a bit of a test/play. No metabolic conditioning today, but it's still going to be pretty difficult. You're going to work up to a max weight on farmer carries, doing at least 5 carries, incrementally getting heavier for 50 meters unbroken. So if you have a gym like ours that's 10 meters long, you don't put the kettlebells down at the end. You walk up like a farmer. Why? War. So just a carry, turning at the top, coming back down to get to around about 50 meters. I'm expecting that you'll be doing reasonably heavy. You'll probably be determined, if you tested your 3-rep max deadlift, you should be doing about 50% of your 3-rep max totaled over both sides. And that's it for part A. Part B is for distance again, but if you don't have a distance to travel, then you can do it on the spot and do 12 total lunges, one side, and then swap. It's an overhead walking lunge for 10 meters out on your weak arm first, and then 10 meters back on your strong arm. So you're going to walk out, back knee hits the ground each time, nice stabilization through the shoulder, locking out at the top. You're going to work up to a max weight. You're going to do at least 5 lengths with each arm total to try and establish what the max weight is that you can do with a single arm. And that's it for part B. New movement to finish the week is a floor press. So you're going to lie on the floor. Simple floor press. The purpose of this is that it restricts your range of movement, but you're starting from a dead stop somewhere where you would normally be traveling with speed on a bench. You're going to press that out as you would a normal bench press, back down, pausing at the bottom, so no bouncing elbows off. You're going to work up to a heavy 5. So record this, heavy 5 floor press, and then you're done. You might need somebody to help you with it, just when you're finished, just to take it off so that you can come out and to load on when you're going in. And that's it for day 3. Day 4 is, if you so choose to take it, a test. It is fasted cardio for 60 minutes. So last week you did, hopefully, 60 to 70% of your heart rate max for an hour. On this day 4, I'd like you to try that with 0 food from the night before. So you do this in the morning and don't eat for an hour and a half afterwards, and then you can load up with carbs, proteins, fats, everything that you need to get you going for the day. So we're going to incorporate this for people that choose to, so do this as a test. If you don't particularly want to do it fasted, then the steady state cardio on its own is going to be very good anyway. So get on it and use it as a recovery session, flush the blood, get a little bit of aerobic capacity work, ready for hitting it hard next week. So as always, if you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, happy gymming, happy riding, and see you next week.
Listen.